There's a pattern that can feel like a loop. The same kind of challenge appears with a different face, a repeated stroke or what feels like bad luck, an unexpected opportunity that seems to arrive out of nowhere. For a long time, it's easy to see life as a series of random events happening to us. But what if there's a deeper coherence? What if our life circumstances are not random accidents, but reflections? What if the outer world, the situations we find ourselves in, the patterns that play out, is a vast dynamic mirror showing us in high definition the contours of our inner landscape? This can be a challenging idea to sit with. It can feel like it's assessing blame for hardship, but that's not the spirit of it. It's less about blame and more about agency. It's about recognizing a reflective relationship between the inner state and the outer reality. If the mind is the primal mirror, as we've explored, then the situations of our lives are the images appearing on its screen. They show us something with startling clarity: what we believe, what we fear, what we are magnetized to, and what we haven't yet resolved within ourselves. We see this in repeated patterns. Perhaps there's a recurring theme in relationships, a feeling of being overlooked, or a dynamic where we end up carrying too much responsibility. Maybe it's a financial pattern where money feels perpetually scarce no matter how much comes in, or a work pattern where we keep encountering the same type of difficult authority figure. These aren't cosmic punishments, they are perfect feedback loops. They are the universe's way of showing us a recording of our own internal programming. Until the internal program is examined and uploaded, the external playback will continue on a loop. The situation is the mirror, and the repeated pattern is the reflection of a repeated unconscious thought or belief. This is where ancient wisdom and modern understanding can meet. The Hermetic principle of correspondence, as above, so below, as within, so without, is a foundational seed planted in plain sight. It's a direct statement about reality as a mirror. It suggests a fractal relationship. The macrocosm of our life circumstances reflects the microcosm of inner states. In many wisdom traditions, there's an understanding that our dominant thoughts and emotional vibrations act as a kind of magnetic frequency, attracting circumstances of a similar resonance. This isn't a magic trick, it's a law of genetic alignment. A mind steeped in anxiety will be hypervigilant to threat, interpreting neutral events as dangerous and often engaging in behaviors that create more tension. A mind rooted in a sense of abundance will notice opportunities and act in ways that generate more flow. The outer world reflects back the quality of our inner attention. So what about the bad luck or the sudden beautiful opportunities? They too are reflections. A streak of unfortunate events can be a mirror showing us where we are out of alignment, perhaps operating from a place of fear, resentment, or deep-seated belief and struggle. It's the universe holding up a sign that says, this frequency is creating friction. Conversely, a sudden, graceful opportunity, the perfect introduction, the unexpected resource, the moment of synchronicity, often arrives when there is an internal shift. It might come after a release of an old grudge, a decision to trust, or a moment of genuine self-acceptance. That opportunity is the mirror reflecting back the new, clearer, more open frequency we have begun to emit. It's evidence that the inner change has already begun to alter the outer reflection. The practical question then becomes, how do we engage with this mirror? The answer isn't to try and manipulate the reflection directly, to frantically wipe at the glass. That's like trying to change your face by smudging the mirror. The work is always with the source. It starts with becoming a detective of our inner landscape. When a frustrating pattern appears, we can pause and ask, what belief might be living beneath this? What fear is this situation touching? When a moment of grace occurs, we can ask, what inner shift preceded this? What was I feeling or believing that allowed this in? This is deep, often subtle work. It involves looking at our core narratives, the stories we tell ourselves about how the world works, about our worth, about what is possible. These narratives are the foundational curves of our mental mirror. Changing a life situation then isn't about willing to be different against all odds. It's about changing the inner narrative. It's about identifying a belief in unworthiness and consciously cultivating a sense of inherent value. It's about noticing a pattern of assuming betrayal and practicing trust in small, safe ways. It's about polishing the mirror from the inside. As the inner narrative shifts, the emotional frequency shifts. And as the frequency shifts, the situations and people that can resonate with that new frequency begin to appear in the reflection. The outer world must be the law of correspondence, rearrange itself to match the new inner arrangement. This understanding transforms us from victims of circumstance to conscious participants in creation. It doesn't deny the very real challenges and systemic forces in the world, but it places a powerful tool of response in our hands. We begin to see every situation, especially the difficult ones, as the most accurate feedback we could ever receive. They are not here to punish us, but to show us where we are not free, where our light is blocked, where love is waiting to be applied. Our life, in all its complexity, becomes the most intimate and truthful mirror we will ever face. And then looking at it with curiosity instead of resistance, we find the master key to changing the reflection. We change the one who is looking.